Hi, I'm Justin.
Also, I hate the way my voice sounds, so if you can do whatever Photoshop does to voices, make me sound awesome.
And this is my lovely friend,
The beauty in the eyes of the beholder, and it's just about getting into the seat of being the beholder.
Hayley.
I don't think you have to be particularly perceptive. I just think you have to look up.
This podcast is mostly just her telling me stories.
If you expose yourself to the possibility that this might be really awkward, there can be something just really cool on the other side of it.
She thinks that her life and way of looking at things are
Oh, I was kind of waiting on you. I thought you were getting your stuff ready. You're waiting on me?
pretty normal.
You got to edit out all the misinformation about the Amish.
Maybe you can relate.
I would like a chance to re-sing the Amish Paradise.
If you want lighthearted stories
All right, you want to talk about goats?
and stream of consciousness,
I just woke up and needed some friends, and so I bought them.
then you're gonna like the Sunny Side Up podcast.
Sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up.
So, if you're at all like me, you may feel that you're living in a world that can be a bit overwhelming and confusing at times. I'm also a huge fan of podcasts, documentaries, docudramas, stories, and of just information in general. Between all of that and the social media and news, sometimes our brains can feel like they're on overload. Hayley and I hope that this podcast can be something of an antidote to all of that. Like little jello shots of joy and distraction. None of it is too serious or really too informative. Mostly it's just two friends who have conversational chemistry talking about whatever enters the minds of relatively ADHD people. We hope you enjoy.
The Ku Klux Klan.
Let's do it.
As a multi-level marketing scheme.
Ooh.
In this essay, I will... No.
Have you joined?
I haven't,
Okay.
but I was considering
As you should. This is breaking
revamping,
news.
bringing it back, but not... Okay, here's this. I learned
You
this
know how
this
hard
year.
this. Now we are canceled.
Yes,
This is our last episode.
Delete.
Delete.
So here's what I learned about the skeezy KKK. I was reading a book, and there was this little segment in it, and it was a book that was fiction, but it would infuse nonfiction points and studies, and it was the most interesting book I read this year. I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
But in this little segment, it's talking about the Klan and the background and how it got reinvented.
Branded?
Yeah, there was the Klan of the 1860s, which they were like, oh, it's a citizens protect neighborhood watch
Yeah, it
group.
was
We're
a
just trying.
neighborhood watch group.
So
Yeah,
many
yeah.
men died in the Civil War that the men who lived will try to band together and protect our women. And we had. I say we. It was like my husband's family talked about someone in the neighborhood running around on his wife or not working and not supporting his wife. And the Klansmen got together and beat the heck out of him to act right, buddy.
Yep.
And shape up and support your family. And it was all white guys. They weren't even doing racist things in that moment. It was just a bunch of white guys trying to police the neighborhood. Whatever. Maybe that happened, or maybe that's some of this revisionist history, rose-colored glasses that Southerners love so much. But there was absolutely a Klan around that era, and it was racist in its roots and racist in its actions. I don't dispute that.
Yeah.
It kind of subsided and died down, and then there was a resurgence in the 1920s maybe, where it came back, and it came back with some force. And the numbers, I don't even have the statistics in front of me because I wasn't prepared to give this dissertation today. But what had happened was this guy here in Atlanta, I think.
Oh. Don't besmirch my dear Atlanta.
But no, he sees the Klan and was like, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to recruit some more members and kind of bring it back. And then he gets other Klansmen, they got a name for it. The Klaverns were the local groups, and then I forget the name of the dorks in charge of each thing. But if you recruited members, you got a little cut of the membership dues. And it literally was a pyramid scheme so much. And the recruitment went through the roof, and so many new members, boss babes reaching out through inbox messages to try to recruit you to own your own business. But no, the Klan membership went it was like the height of their thing, and it was each of the
brilliant.
Why can I not remember what those guys in each of the groups was
With
called.
the little pointy hat, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
each
you're
one
a
in
little
charge of his
leader.
clavor, and I'll think of it when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, they were making a cut off of everybody they recruited, so they had a
Brilliant.
lot of incentive to get more and more people in it. The book posed that the introduction of the white robes as part of their regalia, like it was given a little backstory on that guy. Like he was a failed businessman through a number of different ventures, and then he had bought into some cotton products, and that also was going to be a failed venture. And then he runs into this guy who's bringing back this club, and he's like, "Hey, you know what would really kind of set you apart is how about
robes.
how about these high quality cotton? I just happen to have some that I can sell you at a great
A really
price."
good price.
And there was a movie, Birth of a Nation. There was this racist movie that came out around that same era, and it got...
Wait, Birth of a Nation, like back in the day?
Yeah,
oh,
wasn't
yeah,
that
that's one
like,
of the first
I
movies
didn't,
ever.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I
didn't
think
either.
it was super incendiary, like
Sure.
really, really racist in tone.
Yeah.
And it definitely added some fuel to that fire. And in the film, they're like, we need a way to separate, like to
'Cause
visually set apart
Yeah.
these guys.
And you're shooting in black and white.
So they were like, hey, white robes would really help visually set apart the good guys from the bad guys or whatever. I think that might be where that came from or where that gained foothold. And so then this guy's like, when you recruit new members, they're going to want to feel legitimate. So how about this outfit? And I've got all this cotton I can say. That's the part of the story. I don't know if it's true or if it was
want it to
just
be
a
true,
segment in
though.
there. But the other guy who's like, hey, I'm going to take this to the next level. Let me print all these pamphlets. He hired a consulting firm, like a PR firm, to help him figure out how best to put his Klan recruitment materials out there to recruit more people to it. And so it was less about terrorizing your neighbor than it was putting money in his pocket as being at the top of the pyramid for him personally. For everybody else, it was... I have a small penis. Let me pick on somebody of a different race.
Right.
But yeah.
Incidentally, people that potentially have larger penises, but that's neither here nor there. Moving right along.
I just like to say that if people who are super racist and picking on other people is because they have small penises, because then if you go to dispute it because you want to defend racism, then you are telling on yourself in a way that you don't want to. And so you're typically unwilling to do that, and you just have to go along and not say racist things because you don't want people to assume.
Yes, I like that. I like that. You really backed him into
But
a
yeah,
corner
the
there,
Klan
Haley.
was an MLM.
That's crazy. Well,
Or the second wave of the Klan.
Yeah, sure.
Assuming that was a second wave. I really don't know my Klan history as well as I should.
I mean, not that I know the history, but it sounds remotely possible. Like something could start out like you said, basically a neighborhood watch and end up as an idiotic and horrible of a organization as it turned into. And I will say adds fuel to the fire of I hate MLMs in such a special way.
You don't want to be a boss babe? You don't want to own your own business?
I hate MLMs. I can't tell you how much I hate MLMs. I hate them with a royal red hot passion. Quickly, though.
This sounds like somebody who got taken advantage of. Did you lose your investment? Were you unsuccessful at climbing the ladder?
No. Luckily,
I've
hated them since the moment I heard about them. I despised them. But no, I was just thinking of that episode in The Office when Michael is explaining he gathers everybody in the little conference room and he tells them he joined this organization and he just needs to get people in his downline. And anyways, and Jim is like, oh, so you joined a multi-level marketing organization. He goes, no, it's not. And he goes, okay, so tell me how it's different. And he turns around to the board. He goes, well, there's this guy at the top. And then he goes, this. And he writes out on the board. He said, see, not an MLM at all. And then Jim gets up, takes the marker away from him, and basically just starts drawing the line to connect all of these things with the pyramid. And Michael steps back. Anyways, no, I've had this, I don't know what it is. It's like this deep hatred. Like there's no, and that is the real word. In fact, the last time I was pitched, I shall leave her nameless, but she is a precious human being. I love her dearly. She's amazing.
Aren't they always? Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Like her son and Micah are like awesome friends. I mean, she's just an amazing, and I love her to death. She's such a, wonderful human being. Within the last few months, hits me up, hey, Justin, I got this amazing opportunity, love to share with you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, listen, we'll call her Miss B. Miss B, if this is an MLM, I'm just going to warn you, Like, I hate MLMs.
I will blow it up from the inside.
Yeah, I was like, I hate them so bad. Don't even tell me about it. Blah, 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 blah. And I guess because she's fearless and also a great MLM person, she was like, well, even though you sound like, this whole thing would be revolting to you, I shall continue to pitch. So she continued to pitch, like, why it would be so great for me, why I would be so great, why we could all make so much money. And I proceeded to tell her, and I stand by this, controversial as it is, I was like, I don't see the difference between being a prostitute and being part of an MLM, but I respect prostitutes because at least with the prostitute, it's like
they're selling a product.
Well, and it's
There's
straightforward. It's
product.
like, whatever it is, if it's $60 for a blowjob or whatever their thing is, it's like, it's straightforward, it's clear, and there's no illusion about what you're in. In the MLM world, you have to whore yourself out so hard to every person, including all your friends and family. And but it's under this fake guise of like, it's this wonderful product. It's this wonderful opportunity. It's done so much for me. And oh my God, and it turns everybody I know. It's like, there's no better picture of zombie than people who join MLM. Their brains go into mush and they hit every person. And that person that you haven't talked to in like years all of a sudden reaches out and is like, Hayley, oh my gosh, you're looking so good. I would love to grab some coffee with you. Like, no, you don't. You don't think I look good. You don't want to have coffee with me. Like, I am a bump on your like Facebook log, and now all of a sudden you're reaching out to me. It's so disingenuous. Anyways, I have no
I get those
feelings
messages. It's
that.
like a copy and paste message. I get them frequently. Do you consider a prostitute to be a small business owner? Is she an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's part of my libertarianism. This is why,
very much you're selling a product, you're running your own business.
And you're in charge of your own body.
Respect the hustle.
My whole thing is like on drugs, prostitution, whatever. I think that the church, your parents, your community should help you sort through, is it wise to, engage with said prostitute and snort piles of cocaine? Like, is that a good moral health, whatever choice for you?
And maybe you keep the drugs and the sex separate. Like,
and maybe
you could hustle one and not the other.
That is true. I've heard that normally it goes together, but be it far from me to tell people what to mix or not to mix. I'm just saying, I think that's where the conversations should stand, those type of things. And because whenever the government gets involved, I think the government needs to set rules in the most necessary places, i.e., like if we all try to pass through the intersection at the same time, we're just all going to die. So let's have a red light. I'm good with that. Because humans are warlike. We're probably going to need an army. So let's have a military. I'm good with some of those basics, but getting beyond like some of the basics, I'm just like, no, it's none of your business. And every time the government tries to tell you, don't be a prostitute, or don't engage in prostitution, or don't drink, or yes you can drink, or don't smoke, or yes you can smoke, or don't do drugs, but yes you can, whatever. It's like, stay out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the government possibly can stay out of it, then better, because they create criminals, and then it gets really seedy and bad and icky. And I did say criminal, and I stand by it.
I will adopt the same. Ratified and approved this day.
Hello, lovely friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And it would mean the world if you would tell other people about this podcast, and maybe even spam your social media accounts with just how much you're enjoying it. If you are, of course. Also, commenting and rating us on whatever platform you're downloading or streaming from is incredibly helpful to a little startup podcast like this one. On the other hand, if you are dissatisfied with your listening experience, please leave all of that hate on someone else's podcast. Just maybe to confuse them a little bit, right? But most of all, we hope you keep looking up and looking for the sunny side of life.